Horses and humans have an ancient relationship. These noble animals are some of our best friends, and they've changed the way we live throughout history. There are a lot of different horse breeds, with some being specialized to perform important tasks. And some breeds are so rare, they're considered extremely valuable today. From the magnificent black horses from Europe to the gypsy horse that's loved across the world, here's the 20 most expensive horses in the whole world. Number 20. Frisian horse breed. The first important fact about Frisian horses is that Frisian horses are not as common as other types of horses. Some estimates say there's less than 1,000 Frisian horses registered in North America at the moment, even though they're a popular dressage and carriage horse. The Frisians are very adaptable and willing horses, but they're also big. They're known for being beautiful and having a graceful demeanor, as well as for walking with high steps. They can be used in harnesses, which makes for a strong, quick, and flashy driving squad for your old school carriage. Because of their power, movement, and body control, they're becoming more popular as dressage horses. All around, they're beautiful horses that shine among their peers. This amazing horse looks like a typical horse until he turns his head. Frisians are also becoming more popular in the entertainment and film industries. Stallion Othello, who was in the 1985 movie Ladyhawke, is a big reason why they're so well known. Frisian horses have also been in the movies Aragon, The Mask of Zorro, and 300. They have strong, compact bodies with sloping back ends and a beautiful low tail, so they look good on the big screen. Like fashion models, Frisians have strong bones and thick, beautiful hair. Before we go on, like this video, smash that subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Number 19. Gypsy Vanner. The Gypsy Vanner is a type of horse that comes from Ireland. It was bred almost a century to pull gypsy caravans, and it came to the US for the first time in 1996. These horses were bred to be strong and active, and smaller horses are prized because they're easier to care for and they sell more money. Both their skill in sports and their friendliness and calmness have made them well known. Around the middle of the 1800s, itinerant gypsies in the British Isles began to pull their caravans with horses. During the breed improved to the point where it is now. The traveling people thought of the horse as a member of their family because it was so important to their daily lives. It pulled their mobile caravan everywhere they needed to go. The horse's health and fitness improved because it worked out often and ate different plants from the hedgerows and shrubs as it traveled around. So this horse is very important to these people. Number 18. Morgan. The beautiful Morgan horse was bred in the United States, and it's even the state animal of Vermont. The breed is known for having a smaller body and being compact and muscular. It also has a classically refined look and a clearly arched neck. They weigh about 1,000 pounds, and they're usually shorter than 15 hands. Their wide heads and big expressive eyes give them a gentle look. Their manes and tails are beautiful, thick, and usually lighter in color. They're very versatile animals that can be trained to do both farm work and a variety of equestrian events. No matter what they're used for, their athletic skills come in handy, depending on what the owner wants to do with them. This breed was started by a horse named Justin Morgan, after the name of the person who owned him. Even though the horse died in 1821, his stamp is still available today. He was about 14 hands tall. He was a small, active, and strong horse, whose ancestry was probably a mix of thoroughbred, Arabian, and other breeds. The modern Morgans have smooth lines, small ears, big eyes, and a nice crest on the back of their neck. Number 17. American Quarter. The name pretty much lets you know that the American Quarter horse is about a quarter-mile faster than any other horse. The breed has been around since the 1600s. The imported thoroughbred was crossed with the local workhorses of colonial Virginia to make the quarter horse. This horse of the American West is one of the breeds that can do the most varied jobs. For example, it has a real cow sense, which makes it a great horse for ranch work and western riding competitions. It has a small, strong body that's packed with muscles. The quarter horse is a good choice if you want a horse to ride with you everywhere. They're between 14 and 16 hands tall, and because they're small, they're great for jumping. Early in the 1800s, thoroughbred horses were more popular than quarter horses because they ran faster over longer distances. But quarter horses were soon used as stock horses in the western and southwestern parts of the US. Because the breed was naturally quick and agile, it was perfect for the tasks of developing the frontier. During the open range era of the West, cowboys loved riding the American quarter horse because it was friendly and it knew how to act around cows. Not all horses know how to act. I'm like, where were you raised, a barn? Number 16. Appaloosa. The spotted Appaloosa horse has been winning horse lovers' hearts for hundreds of years. Appaloosas are known for both how they look and how kind, friendly, and loyal they are as pets. They're usually eager to please, which makes them a great breed of horse for riders of all skill levels. Native Americans, especially the Nimipu, liked them and started breeding them when they got to the Northwest. The Nimipu lived near the Palouse River, which is probably where the breed got its name. People used to call them Palouse horses, but later they were called Appaloosas instead. When the US government tried to take over Native American land in the late 1870s, the breed was almost lost. Some members of the tribe ran away with their horses, but many of these early Appaloosas were stolen, lost, or killed. In the 1930s, people became interested in the breed again, and a few of the horses that were still alive helped the breed build a new base. A breed registry called the Appaloosa Horse Club was started in 1938. Since then, it's been in charge of the return of the breed. It's now one of the world's largest registries of horse breeds. Number 15. Mustang. Mustang horses are the descendants of escaped domestic Spanish horses that Spanish explorers brought to the Americas in the 1600s. The name comes from the Spanish word Mustango and Mostrenco, which mean wild or masterless cattle. Mustangs are not technically wild horses because they came from a domesticated population. Instead, Mustangs living in the wild are called feral. They live in the wild in the western US, but people also keep them as pets and ride them like other horses. Mustangs have strong bodies and hard hooves, which makes them good for scouting and trail riding. The genus Equus, which includes horses, started out in North America about 4 million years ago. From there, it spread out to the rest of the world. About 10,000 years ago, the last truly wild horses in America died out, probably because of climate change and interactions with humans. But now they're back. Mustangs can be a lot of different colors. Most of the time, they're bay, a reddish-brown color, or sorrel, a chestnut color. They can also have spots, patches, and stripes in various patterns. Number 14. Andalusian. Andalusian horses are a type of Spanish horse that dates back to the 15th century. Since then, they've maintained the same appearance. It's no accident, it's because they have to meet very strict requirements to qualify as a true Andalusian. Their colors are beautiful and unique, and their manes and tails are long and flowing. Because of how they look and act, they're very popular for movies and classical dressage. In the past, they were used for bullfighting, which still happens in some parts of Spain today. Over the years, their bloodline influenced a lot of different breeds. Some of them escaped from the conquistadors' ships on the way to the New World and became wild Mustangs, which we just saw a minute ago. For Spaniards, Andalusian horses were so valuable that it carried the death penalty for taking them out of the country. Monasteries in the south of the country were where the best horses came from. Carthusian monks who loved Andalusian horses the most didn't care about how pure the breeding was, though. They just enjoyed having these horse buddies around. At first, Andalusians were used as heavy knight horses in wars. In the 1600s, they started showing up at princess courts where people thought they were serious horse nobility. Soon after that, the breed was used in high schools of dressage, which are riding schools in Spain. This is how dressage as a sport came to be. Number 13. Arabian. The Arabian horse is one of the oldest horse breeds in the world. Its roots go all the way back to 3000 BC. They're very smart animals and some of the rarest breeds in the world. The Bedouin people of the Arabian Peninsula bred them, which is how they got their name. Their heads are rounded and their tails look like flags. In the past, they were mostly used to carry soldiers on horseback. They have a lot of stamina, which makes them perfect for endurance sports. They are a very popular breed because they do well in almost everything they're taught. Some modern breeds have traits like toughness and elegance from the Arabian horse and added them to their genes. The Arabian breed is a small, compact horse with big eyes, wide nostrils, and a pronounced wither, and a short back. Most of the time, it only has 23 vertebrae, while most other breeds have 24. It has strong legs and beautiful hooves. Fine silky hair make up the coat, tail, and mane. Even though the breed can be any color, gray's the most common. The most famous stud farm is in the Saudi Arabian region of Najd, but many great Arabian horses are now being raised in other places too. Number 12. Hanoverian. The Hanoverian breed was first started in Germany in the 1800s. At first, it was supposed to be a horse for the cavalry and a well-built farm and carriage workhorse. They were bigger and stronger than Hanoverians today. By adding bloodlines from the Cleveland Bay, the Holsteiner, and the Thoroughbred, a lighter, more athletic riding horse was created. They're about 16 hands tall, which is pretty big for a horse. They have a powerful body with strong limbs and backs, and they have a unique shape. They're prize show hunters because they're beautiful and always very fit. They're also one of the most successful warm blood breeds because they've won a lot of gold medals in dressage, eventing, and show jumping at the Olympics. Hanoverian stallions, mares, and foals can be very pricey because they do well in competitions. The Hanoverian Association holds an auction in Verdun once a year, in addition to the well-known Hanoverian stallion selection. The most expensive horse ever sold at an auction costs 2.1 million euros. When you look at a Hanoverian horse, you can tell right away that it's a fast horse. Their muscles are strong, and their bodies are shaped like a rectangle. And to go with strong bodies, they have strong legs. Even though these warm-blooded horses have strong muscles, their heads are dry and elegant, with long ears and big nostrils. The most beautiful things about them are their wide eyes and their friendly looks. Number 11. American Standard Breed. In the US, harness racing is a very popular horse sport, and the best trotters are worth a fortune, and that means the American Standard Breed are in pole position. They have a good temperament that makes them good riding horses, they're bigger and heavier than thoroughbreds, and their bodies are long and strong. They're also easy to ride because they have strong legs, shoulders, and back legs. In 1788, the grandsire of the Hambletonian 10 breed was brought to the US. This was the start of the modern standard breeds. In the 1800s, horses that trotted, paced, and raced both under saddle and in harnesses were mixed together to make the American Standard Breed. In 1987, a breed registry called the National Association of Trotting Horse Breeders was founded. The name Standard Breed comes from the fact that a horse had to run a standard mile in 2 minutes and 30 seconds in order to be in that registry. The breed is now kept track of by the United States Trotting Association. The colors of the American Standard Breed horses include bay, brown, black, chestnut, gray, and other solid colors. Number 10. Holsteiner. Holsteiners are one of the oldest warm breed bloods that are still around today. They're from Germany. They come from thoroughbreds, Selle Français, and Anglo-Arabians. Some of them were bred as early as the 13th century. The first ones were made by monks from small native horses. Their main uses were farming and fighting. Today, they're multi-purpose horses that can be used for show jumping, driving, elite dressage, and hunter shows. They're beautiful animals with a reddish-brown body and a black tail. They're also very strong. They're between 16 and 17 hands tall, full of grace, and they have easygoing personalities. Unfortunately, the numbers of this breed have been going down over the past few years, and many of those that are still alive live in northern Germany. After the Protestant Reformation in the 1600s, local landowners took over the monks' horses. The state made laws to protect the breed's quality and gave incentives to encourage good breeding practices. The Holsteiner's reputation in Germany and all over Europe kept getting better. In the neighboring state of Lower Saxony in 1735, 12 Holsteiners were used to start the Hanoverian breed. In 1797, over 10,000 Holsteiners were shipped all over Europe. The need for horses big and strong enough to carry knights turned into a need for lighter, more agile mounts for the cavalry. Eventually, this need was overtaken by the need for elegant, flashy carriage horses that could cover a lot of ground. Holsteiners are still used on farms in their home area, so their toughness and willingness to work were never given up for the sake of their looks. Number 9. Selle Français. The Selle Français is a crossbreed warm blood horse that comes from France. Because they do well in show jumping competitions, they're among the most expensive breeds in the world. They were made only for horseback riding, so they're very athletic animals. They've jumped well at the Olympics, where they've been seen on the victory podium many times. Some of them have white markings on their lower legs, and some are bay or chestnut. They're smart, friendly horses that are good for people who are just starting out with horseback riding. They make great friends, and because they need to be trained by people, they should be kept in stables. These saddle horses were first bred to have the qualities needed in a war horse: bravery, toughness, strength, intelligence, and a good temper. Their roots go back to William the Conqueror. In the 20th century, after the Industrial Revolution, there was a big drop in the need for working horses and cavalry horses. Instead, breeders focused on making top-notch sports horses. In 1958, the Demi-Seng, the Anglo-Norman, the Vendée, and the Charolais saddle horses were mixed together to make a new breed called the Selle Français, which means, you guessed it, French saddle horse. Number 8. Thoroughbred. The thoroughbred breed is mostly raised to run in races. They're known for being fast and quick, which makes them great racers. The people who ride them should be able to keep their horses calm because they tend to be a bit moody. They're also some of the world's most expensive breeds. When they're at their best, they're worth a lot of money. But thoroughbreds that have never raced are cheaper, and they can be used for dressage or jumping. They're one of the most popular breeds in the world, and they're from the UK. They're very quick, they have a lot of stamina, which are great qualities for racehorses. Most of the time, they're between 15 and 17 hands tall, and they have long legs and a light body. The Darley Arabian, the Godolphin Arabian, and the Byerly Tuck are the three main stallions that are the fastest in this breed. Records show that Arab and Barb horses were brought to England as early as the 3rd century. This is where the thoroughbred may have come from. Since then, the English thoroughbred has been exported to most countries, where it's used to breed horses for racing or to improve the breeds of those countries. Number 7. Dutch Warmblood. This breed, the Dutch Warmblood, comes from the Netherlands, and they're great competition horses. They cost a lot of money, and they're also hard to find. The Holsteiner and the Hanoverian breeds were crossed to make them. But the modern Dutch Warmblood also comes from two other Dutch breeds, the Gerlander and the Groningen. They stand between 15 and 17 hands tall, and they're known for how athletic they are. They're pretty horses that are well built, and they have a pleasing, friendly personality. Dressage, jumping, and pleasure riding are some of the things that they do well. They like people, and they're really popular in Belgium as well as the Netherlands. They're great hunting partners, and they can also jump really well. Even though all horses are mammals and therefore warm-blooded by nature, horses that are considered warm bloods in the horse world are often the result of breeding hot-blooded horses, like Arabians and thoroughbreds, with cold-blooded draft horses, like Percherons or Belgians. Warm bloods are just like their hot-blooded cousins in that they're athletic and have a lot of spirit, but they also have the good nature and work ethic of their draft horse ancestors. The result is a sport horse that's athletic, brave, and calm. Both amateur and professional riders love this type of horse. Number 6. Oldenburg. The Oldenburg breed, or Oldenburger, is another type of horse that was created in Germany. It was bred on a farm in the Oldenburg region. They were named by the famous dressage rider Count Graf Anton Gunther. They were carefully bred for war, and their ancestors were the Alt-Oldenburger carriage horses. In the 17th century, people had different needs than they do now, and most of these horses were used by lords who owned a lot of land. They were also raised to be war horses, and military leaders frequently rode them in battle. They're good at dressage, eventing, and show jumping nowadays. Even though they're small, Oldenburgs are strong horses. They have long necks, deep chests, and big hooves. Their legs, however, aren't very long. You can find them in gray, brown, or black, and they have a calm personality. Count Johann XVI of Oldenburg was very interested in breeding horses, and he gave fine war horses as gifts to famous war heroes, rulers, and noblemen. He put Neapolitan, Barb, Turkish, and Fredericksborg stallions with Frisian mares. Anton Gunther, who took over for Johann XVI, is known as the father of the Oldenburg breed. Number 5. Trakehner. A full Trakehner horse can cost between $5,000 and $7,500, while an active competition horse can cost between $10,000 and $30,000. At the 2018 Trakehner auction, Cottonau, the most expensive Trakehner stallion, was sold for $314,000. That is a pricey horse. In the middle of the 18th century, the Trakehner breed was created at the East Prussian State Stud. The small, tough horses of the area were shaped by thoroughbreds, which gave them a light body. Like its German relatives, the Trakehner is a top breed horse for eventing, dressage, and show jumping. When competing against other warm blood breeds, their small size, intelligence, and great endurance have given them an edge. The Trakehner came from a stud farm in Trakehnen, East Prussia. When it first started in 1721, the farm raised big, rough horses. But by the 1800s, thoroughbreds and Arabians were added to the breed to help improve the horses and make them stronger. The goal was to breed horses that were strong enough to serve as war horses, but flexible enough to work on farms when war wasn't going on. Number 4. Shire. Depending on its age, training, appearance, and breeding, a Shire horse can cost anywhere from $4,000 to $20,000. Shire horses are a rare and endangered breed, which is one reason why they cost more than other expensive breeds. They're also twice as big as a normal horse, which makes it a lot more expensive to take care of them. It's also kind of ironic because when I think of the Shire, I think of little teeny tiny people, not big huge things. The Shire horse breed comes from the British Isles, and the first official records of it are from the middle of the 18th century. After the Industrial Revolution, the number of them dropped from a few million to a few thousand. Traditionally, Shire horses were used for farming and pulling brewery carts. They're used in forestry work and by people who ride and drive them for fun. Number 3. Tennessee Walker. The Tennessee walking horse is known for its unique 4-beat gait. The horse was originally made to work on farms and plantations in the South. Its running walk makes it a good show horse, but it can also be used for pleasure riding. Even though it moves in a showy way, it's a calm breed that can be used for trail rides or performances with both Western and English saddles. Tennessee Walkers have been in a lot of movies and TV shows, and family farms still use them. Recent prices for these horses range from $600 to $8,500. As its name suggests, the Tennessee walking horse comes from the state of Tennessee, and it's a mix of different breeds. Its ancestors include the Narragansett horse, an old pacing or gaited New England breed that's thought to be the ancestor of a number of modern gaited horse breeds. The Canadian pacer is thought to be closely related to the modern Canadian horse. This breed was popular in New England, and it can be traced back to horses that were brought from Europe to Acadia and New France in the 17th century. The bloodlines of the American Standardbred, Thoroughbred, Morgan, and American Saddlebred were also used. It's the official state horse of Tennessee. The Tennessee walking horse was made to give farmers a smooth, safe ride over rough terrain. They were originally bred to do all kinds of farm work, but now they're mostly used as riding horses. They're prized in the show ring and on the trail. Number 2. Clydesdale. Clydesdales are big horses that look like Belgian draft horses but are more graceful. They're really smart. They're easy to train, ride, and people love this type of horse. Who doesn't love watching Budweiser Clydesdale ads? Anheuser-Busch owns about 250 Clydesdale horses, which is one of the largest herds of Clydesdales in the whole world. These horses are used in different environments. Clydesdales were raised to work in farming and hauling, and they were very good at both. Today, Clydesdales are used as drum horses by the British Household Cavalry. They're usually colored, and they have a lot of patterns and unique white spots. The Clydesdale horse was first bred to work on farms and factories. It came from the Scottish county of Lanarkshire in the late 18th centuries when Flemish stallions were brought to Scotland to breed with draught mares that were already there. Because they were willing to work hard and they were big and strong, they were often used for manual tasks like hauling goods on the road and cutting down trees. During World War they were used to pull guns and artillery, which caused many of them to die. As a result, there were far fewer Clydesdale horses after this terrible conflict. Like other heavy horses, like the Shire horse, the number of Clydesdales was affected by the rise of machinery in both industry and farming. Today, they're on the vulnerable list of the Rare Breeds Survival Trust. Even though the Clydesdale was created in Scotland, it's most common in the US, followed by the UK, Canada, and Australia. In fact, like we mentioned, the American lager company Budweiser has its own team of Clydesdale horses that are used to promote the brand in parades, promotions, and commercials all over the United States and even further abroad. These horses can sell for as little as $1,000, but most Clydesdales cost between $2,500 and $3,000. Number 1. Lipizzanner. The Lipizzan is called the horse of kings and queens. These dancing horses are known for how dramatic they look and how well they move in sync with their riders. The history of the Spanish riding school, which gave the Lipizzan its mysterious reputation, is interesting, but the breed itself is one of a kind. Even though show horses have white coats, they don't get them until they're 6 to 10 years old. They come into the world gray, brown, or black. It's a very rare breed that's known not only for its history, but also for its intelligence, athleticism, and cultural importance. A Lipizzanner horse can be bought for between 4,000 and 5,000 euro, which is not too bad for such a magical horse. The breed has been in danger of dying out more than once in its history. This is partially because there's been so many Europe over the last 500 years, and partially because breeding was a private and isolated process until the early 1900s. Even though there aren't that many purebred Lipizzanners left, their numbers are slowly going up. The Lipizzanner horse is an old breed that comes from Slovenia and dates back to the 1600s. The breed is named after the Lipizza stud of the Hamburg monarchy, which is thought to have created them because the military needed a fast, light horse. This breed is one of Europe's oldest, and it's thought of as a horse for royalty. Which of these horses do you dream of owning one day? What's the most expensive horse you've ever heard about? Let us know in the comments below. Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on screen right now. See you next time.